Welcome. My name is Jeff Lucas. Thank you, Lance. And I'm with IML Container, North America. And what I want to do is kind of give you a little bit of an agenda here that we're going to talk about for the next 15-20 minutes. Okay, so we're going to go through. It all begins with you, so we're going to chat about that. Everything that we're going to talk about individually is going to be, you're going to have to be challenged on, right? It all starts with you learning a little something, and even if after this you will go out into the market and you remember some of this, you're going to say that this all has to be part of something I'm going to bring into the team, with engineering, with your marketing group, or within, if you're the person who can make that decision, then fine, but you know that there's going to be resistance to change in every step of the way, okay? So you don't ignite sales by just treading water. If you're going to tread water, you're trying not to drown. And that's what we're going to do, talk about a little bit. It's not just the 1% and the little bit of incremental change. We're talking about really being a market leader. What is success in our market space? I would say success is going to be obviously grabbing market share within a confined space. I think being the first into a market, bringing some innovation is really having success. From there, somebody taking your design, it's a flattering compliment, but you know you were successful because people start stealing that idea and then duplicating it. And when you go shopping, and let's start back on when you first get involved in looking at what is successful, what's innovative, what's different, what we're going through is you look through every single type of package that's out there, and it's curious from a typical packaging person. But a typical consumer is going through 44% of the time, on average, they are going to be buying something that they have on a list. And the rest of the percentage, more than half, is going to be an impulse package that they're going to buy. And really the whole point of what we're doing is we're trying to grab that impulse buyer. How do they buy the products? What is an impulse buy? A typical consumer goes through 1,000 items in 30 minutes. And from there, they're going to buy it one of 4 different ways. Again, if more than 50% of the things that are purchased are impulse buys, how do we grab that and make that mean something to that person? How do we get the products to connect to the consumer with some emotion? Or it could be, there's certain things that I connect to my background or where I grew up or where I went to school that ends up being something that I identify with. And so what those things are to your customers is what we're trying to catch, right? But one of the biggest connections we could do is going to be the packaging. The packaging by far is one of the major influences on what we're doing with finding that emotional tie to our customer. What stands out right now? If you're in different sections, what stands out is a little bit different. So if you go into the vegetable aisle and the whole produce section in general, a lot of packaged goods are different looking. And so it's going to be something that jumps out. So if you're packaging tomatoes, it's in a rigid package that's definitely not in a stacked aisle of fresh fruit or vegetables. When you go into the dairy section, a lot of it is going to be white, and some of the colors and identifiable things are going to stand out because it's in a sea of a specific look or shape. So if you're walking down an aisle, graphics that speak out are definitely something in unique colors and unusual fonts. For sure is what's going to gravitate somebody to take a look at it, something different. An unusual shape. If you're in a sea of rounds, for instance, an unusual shape of square, rectangular, a natural look is definitely something that stands out completely different. So what stands out for a consumer is items that are typically unique for a specific section. So how do we do it? If you're studying the graphics and you're studying the sections of where you're at, elegant designs and maximizing graphics for sure are where we're seeing the most identifiable thing to stand out. So if you're putting great images, great decoration, great fonts, having the brand shout out from the shelf is the most identifiable thing that's happening in a grocery aisle. Taking the things like nutritional labels, UPCs, putting them on the bottom of a container, in the back of the container that doesn't speak to the consumer is definitely an area that is going to help brands jump out. Maximizing shelf space. So if you know the shelf space that you're in today, do you know the measurements? Do you know what's there? Because with that, having graphics cover more space is definitely an area that you can gain some market share in the same space. If you're trying a new flavor and you can add one more slot, we're seeing that that is one of the best things you can do for a brand. And we're seeing that incremental changes in the actual shelf space itself is a huge win for the retailer, for restocking, and for actually getting consumer more products in one set space. People-pleasing features. So knowing what your product does and how it actually is used inside their house, you can add a lot of features that jumping out to the customers is what is going to bring them some value. So maybe your product is shaker. You could shake out a lid. Maybe it's something that you're going to be adding to another product. So adding people-pleasing features, making the product fit inside the consumer's hand so they can put it in the cart, take it home. The product is going to be cooked. Adding some features that might be able to insulate the consumer's hand by pulling it out of the microwave instead of having to use the product that you just sold them into another container to make it less convenient. So how can you bring features and value to them with the same package that you actually purchased right at the store? How can you make that individual package bring some more value to them at home as far as what fits the family needs? Maybe it's a larger pack. If people are going through 2 in a week, can we do 1 family pack? Changing the pack to be more convenient. I think Costco today is doing a great job. They're trying to figure out how to bring more products, everybody has a 5-gallon pan of peanut butter in it. But maybe it's a more fat product that maybe goes into a smaller package. So my inability to keep myself from eating 32 ounce, doing a personal size is something that might bring some more convenience to somebody who is going to take that home. So giving them options on sizing, family size, small size, snack size. All of this, making changes in packaging, identifying with your consumer by making some statements out there. A lot of this stuff is not easy. The one thing is for sure is that if you're first to market, you have a very good chance of maintaining that market share. And if you look at the iPhone, Facebook, the people who carve out the market, make the step out there, are the ones who hold the market share for the most part. It happens in the food packaging as well. In some of the spaces that are in the grocery aisle, making a step outside in a very commodity-based item, like butter, making it more convenient, getting more shelf space to the consumer, making it convenient to go on the shelf inside a refrigerator. Land O'Lakes has done a tremendous job. Sabra, the typical market has been in a very small hummus container. And Sabra was really the first one to spread it out and make it more convenient for party packs and everything. I mean, most people don't eat hummus with a spoon. Faye, 2 compartments, putting honey outside of pretty sour yogurt. It's a pretty innovative product that's really taken over. We're starting to see that in every grocery store. 2 compartment. Wells Dairy really moving from paperboard to a plastic ice cream container. It was done in Europe for a while, but bringing it to the United States, it's a big investment, it's a big change to make ice cream in a plastic container. But not having the flavors migrate in the freezer, having it more convenient so the whole thing doesn't collapse. I mean, it's a consumer-friendly product, but it's a big departure from what the market's always had. So there's some great successes, and they're big market leaders in the space that they occupy. Risks of change are very high. I'm not going to deny that. You have equipment changeover. You know, marketing, a whole new message has to be set out there. The sales staff have to relearn how to sell a different shape, a different size if you're going that route. It's expensive. And what we have today works. We don't need to change anything. So there's definitely risks in doing anything different. There's no question about it. But if you don't do anything, it's going to be far more expensive. The competition is going to go after the space that you occupy. There's no question that if you stay in the same place, somebody's going to be an innovator and go after market share. So then you're spending money to defend the market that you do have by discounting the price, by just keeping what you currently have. And you will have to change, but now you're chasing. And you're almost having to do it at a price that you didn't set the market at. And untapped potential. We've gone through many exercises where people are looking at potentially changing their equipment or looking at shelf space configuration. And when you do, can you find efficiencies in running that product at a higher speed? Can you gain more market share in the same space that you're in? And there are costs that can be realized, or I should say savings that can be realized by doing the exercise. Going from in a traditional market of a round container to a square or rectangular, there's shelf savings, as I said, by putting another flavor potentially in the same space. The box configuration, certain things are less efficient than others. Can you save in trucking? Can you save through the whole distribution process? And again, without doing the exercise on parts of the line that can be changed, you don't know what can be saved in the long haul. We know that the sales and marketing team at every company comes to you with ideas. They're saying, can we do this? Everybody's been asking for a 34 ounce, or can we do this in a 55-gallon drum, or whatever crazy ideas come to you. And maybe 9 out of 10 are crazy, but maybe there's the one that could be the new idea. It could be the future of something great and new that you could get 30% more. And do your vendors today bring you the latest in technology? Are you with the right people? If you're with people who are followers, you maybe need to look at that and shake it a little bit and say, is the vendor I'm with today a market leader? Are they an innovator? Do they bring us new ideas? How fast can I get a new idea to market? If you go ask engineering, it's 6 years. We'll do it the next decade. If you bring it to marketing, they have a long lead time as well. You have to be first to market, and do you challenge your inside staff? Do you challenge your vendors to help you get there? Any questions? Again, the company that I work for is IML Containers. I could speak and tell you many great things about what we do. We are definitely one of the market leaders in mold labeling packaging, and we're a global company. So if there's any questions specific to the market, please. Yes, sir. So the question is, how long does it take to bring something to market with a brand new concept? And I would say it depends on volume, and it depends on how much of a change. Generally, if it's a complete production line changeover, the time that it takes to buy the filling equipment, if you're doing a change, we could run in parallel to that. But from a brand new design, if somebody came to us and sketched out something and they're rolling out 10, 20 million new items in a category with several SKUs, we could have a design within a couple weeks. We could have a prototype on someone's desk within 3 weeks. And within 10 to 12 weeks, we could have a plastic part on somebody's desk to review. So we're very quick to market, taking ideas to fruition. All right, thank you very much.